Okay, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
What's your
John?
name?
John.
Hey, John.
I'm with Seattle Fair Growth. We're an advocacy group, and the reason I came to Seattle in the first place was because, well, besides a job, was because it was rated at the time one of the most livable cities. I don't know if you remember that, in the country, or the most livable city. And I don't know if I'd come today based on all the changes. I live in Ballard. I love Ballard, but I've seen tremendous amount, a lot of people out here from Wallingford or different communities, they're all saying we don't want to be Ballard because of what's happening.
I know, do you ever think Ballardization would be a verb?
A cuss word.
Yeah, it's a cuss
that's
word.
right.
So, I mean, what we're seeing are tall, out-of-place buildings that are, putting shadows over beautiful cottages. Open space is insufficient. The road system throughout Seattle, there is no capacity left. Schools, as you know, are overcrowded with 1,000 students coming per year. Our tree canopy is disappearing, and thousands of people are without homes. So when you think of livability, I'd like to know what you think livability is for Seattle and our communities, and what you would do to preserve or maintain or improve the livability of Seattle.
Yeah. Terrific question, and I couldn't agree more on terms of those factors you listed. I moved away for a period of time. I lived on the East Coast, and I came home for a reason. Because like you, I love the city. I love the proximity to the natural resources. I thought it was a livable city with a population that was robust and diverse and eclectic. And we've done growth really terribly. We were almost too good. For a while we were kind of a hidden secret, and then suddenly we weren't. And we've had this huge influx of people coming to Seattle. And so taking each of the things you've listed, growth is the hardest part, and it's the hardest part for neighborhoods because there's no question that everybody's got to gain some density. But what we have to remember is that doesn't necessarily mean one size fits all, and I think that's where we need to have more thoughtful discussions. And part of that growth means green space. Of the various, I work downtown, walk around downtown, and every time I'm in South Lake Union, I'm struck by two things. One, how amazing it is that we have Amazon as an employer who has, 20,000 jobs. But also, what would this have been like if it was a park? And so, we do not have, I think, we have to focus on keeping green space, even in those places as they're getting denser, keeping tree canopy. And we need to do it not just for livability, but we need to do it for environmental reasons. We have to be really careful in this next stage of growth that as we grow, we're doing all we can to reduce our carbon load and to make sure that we're making smart choices, which leads
I
me...
have a follow-up question.
Okay.
To that. So MHA is about density. It's not only about, and the grand bargain is about increasing height, but also about width and depth and density.
Right.
And a lot of lots will be, lot to lot, the whole lot will be covered by housing, and there won't be any trees with MHA. So how do you balance the fact that we need more housing with the fact that we're destroying trees in the Emerald City?
I want to look at each of those upzones because I was just in a neighborhood the other day and I thought to myself, if they had left just 10 more feet of setback, you would have felt like you had a boulevard instead of a canyon. And so I think we have to keep looking at those issues. I'll be honest with you, I don't think we can unwind the whole thing because there's such a desperate need for affordable housing. And I think the deal in allowing developers to go up and making them either pay in for affordable housing or provide it is critical for us to be able to bring enough units online just for the people who are here, let alone the many, many that are going to be coming.
So with affordable housing, or with MHA, we are dinging developers, but then you said you would support impact fees. Can we do both?
I think you have to look at the whole, part of that whole, the grand bargain makes it sound like, a grand bargain. And it is, because the bottom line is, the law said developers, as a matter of law, could go up to X stories. But if they went up just to X stories, the city can't get anything from them. Can't get it, it can't get additional money for housing, it can't get them to pay into a housing fund, it can't get them to create it. They can only do what's allowed under the law, the various impact fees that are allowed under the law. So then like, okay, we need the housing, we can't, as a city, we can't pay enough or get enough online without help from the developer community. So we'll give you the ability to go up a little more, but you gotta either pay into the fund or create the housing. And I think you have to have that kind of agreement in place so that they have certainty and it's enough of an incentive for them to want to do. I think we have to keep looking at it to make sure that the taxpayers are really getting the bargain.
I think that's not really my question.
Okay,
though.
I apologize.
It's more specifically, can we double dip with developers if we're going to do impact fees, developer impact fees, plus mandatory housing affordability? I understand what we're
Yeah, I don't think it's double dipping if everyone knows what the rules are up front. Because right now, it's not only affordable housing, but right now developers are paying a whole range of impact fees. And they have to pay it for the variety of things that are allowed under the statute, you know, fire improvement, sometimes, you know, so there's a whole list. What I'm saying is we have to look at whether, for example, traffic impact fees, which are allowed, we're not collecting. So I think you got to have the certainty of fairness, and it's got to be economic so they want to do it, and the public has to get benefit.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.